So, you know how some people believe the Earth is flat? Well, buckle up because we are about to dive into a conspiracy theory that makes flat earthers look like amateur theorists. In the world of wild conjecture and speculative hypothesis, conspiracy theories often take the cake for being the most entertaining, if not always the most plausible. From the moon landing being a Hollywood production to the existence of Bigfoot, these theories are the lifeblood of late-night internet browsing. Now imagine a theory so outlandish, so far-fetched, it makes the concept of a hollow Earth filled with mole people seem like a bedtime story. That's right, we're heading into the rabbit hole of a theory that COVID-19, the world-changing pandemic, is actually a bioweapon. Who's the alleged mastermind behind this plot? None other than the US government itself. If you thought your Uncle Bob's lizard people theories were out there, brace yourself for this one. Scene script. Ever wonder why COVID-19 came out of nowhere? Well, according to this theory, it didn't. Picture this, a secret laboratory, hidden deep within the corridors of the US government, where scientists are concocting a brew more potent than your grandma's chicken soup. That's right, we're talking about COVID-19, the virus that swept across the globe faster than a cat meme on the internet. According to this theory, the virus wasn't a random act of nature, but a calculated creation. A bioweapon, if you will, engineered by the American government. Now, we're not saying this is the next season of Stranger Things, but it does make you think, doesn't it? The proponents of this theory point to the rapid spread of the virus and its unique properties as evidence. They argue that the virus's ability to evade detection and spread quickly is a sign of its engineered nature. And the fact that it's highly contagious yet not universally lethal? Well, that's apparently perfect for a bioweapon designed to cause maximum disruption without annihilating the population. Then there's the peculiar timing of its emergence. Just as the world was getting engrossed in the political drama of an impending US election, COVID-19 pops up like an uninvited guest at a party. Coincidence? This theory says not. And let's not forget the supposed smoking gun. The US government's alleged involvement in gain-of-function research, a type of study that manipulates viruses to increase their range of hosts. Sounds like a plot straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? While this theory might seem as believable as finding a unicorn in your backyard, it does pose some interesting questions. After all, truth is often stranger than fiction. But before you start digging a bunker in your backyard, remember, this is just a theory. And you thought your last science experiment went wrong? So, how did the US government supposedly create this virus? Let's take a microscopic look. Imagine a group of scientists huddled together in a secret lab, probably hidden beneath a mountain or inside a volcano, because that's where all the cool secret labs are, right? They're supposedly using their mad science skills to concoct a new virus, one that's going to shake the world to its core. Let's call them Team BioBlitz for dramatic effect. Now, Team BioBlitz needs a starting point for their nefarious creation. They can't just pull a virus out of thin air, so they decide to use a bat coronavirus as a base, because nothing screams evil secret project like a virus from a creature that's synonymous with the night and all things spooky. So, they've got their base virus. What's next? Well, the theory suggests they decided to jazz it up a bit, throwing in a dash of SARS, a pinch of MERS, and maybe a sprinkle of the common cold for good measure. But wait, there's more. Apparently they didn't stop there. They also added a gain-of-function feature. It's like adding a turbo boost to a car, but instead of going faster, the virus becomes more infectious. Now let's take a moment for a reality check. Creating a virus in a lab is no cakewalk. It's not like baking a batch of cookies where you can just throw in a little of this and a dash of that. It's complex, precise work that requires a deep understanding of biology and genetics. And let's not forget, this is the same government that has trouble managing its budget, but we're supposed to believe they can pull off a high-stakes, super-secret science project with global consequences? But let's play along. So, Team BioBlitz supposedly created this super virus under the watchful eye of Uncle Sam. Sure, the government can't even fix potholes, but they can engineer a global pandemic. Makes perfect sense. Now, if the US government did create this virus, how did they manage to infect the whole world without anyone noticing? Well, sit tight, folks, because this theory's got an answer for that too. The conspirators would have you believe that the virus was secretly spread through an ingenious method. The method, well, it's so simple that it's brilliant. The virus was allegedly spread through, wait for it, international mail. Yes, you heard right. The theory suggests that the virus was embedded in the glue of postage stamps. So every time someone licked a stamp, they were unknowingly becoming a part of this grand scheme. Now isn't that a first-class way to spread a virus? But the plot thickens. The theory doesn't stop at stamps, it also claims that the virus was hidden in the ink of printer cartridges. That's right, every time someone printed a document, they were supposedly spreading the virus. Who knew that office work could be so dangerous? Just when you thought it couldn't get any more outrageous, the theory pulls another rabbit out of its hat. It claims that the virus was also spread through the air via chemtrails. You know, those white trails that planes leave in the sky? Apparently they're not just water vapor, but a deadly viral concoction. So, who needs biolabs and hazmat suits when you've got stamps, printer cartridges, and airplanes, right? And if you're wondering why we didn't notice, the theory has an answer for that too. It claims that the virus was designed to be dormant for a period of time before becoming active. This means that people would have been infected long before they started showing symptoms. Now isn't that a plot twist worthy of a Hollywood blockbuster? The US government, according to this theory, managed to turn the whole world into unwitting accomplices in their grand plan. But remember folks, this is just a theory. And as wild as it may sound, it's important to critically examine the evidence before jumping to conclusions. Talk about a viral marketing campaign. Believe it or not, this theory has some serious consequences. Now, we're not just talking about heated debates over Thanksgiving dinner or a few raised eyebrows in the office. This theory, like many others, has had some real-world impacts that go beyond the realm of internet forums and late-night talk shows. For starters, let's talk about misinformation. Conspiracy theories thrive on the unknown, and when they start to spread, they can muddle the waters of truth and fiction. This theory about COVID-19 being a bioweapon, for instance, has led to an influx of misinformation. People get confused, they don't know what to believe, and suddenly the line between fact and fiction becomes so blurred that it's almost non-existent. And then there's the issue of distrust. Conspiracy theories often involve some form of authority, whether it's the government, the media, or, in this case, public health organizations. So when a theory like this gains traction, it can lead to widespread distrust in these institutions. People start to question the motives of the very organizations that are working to protect them. They start to doubt the safety of masks, the effectiveness of social distancing, and the integrity of vaccines. And in a pandemic, that kind of distrust can have dangerous, even deadly consequences. But it's not all doom and gloom. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this, it's the importance of critical thinking. It's about questioning what we hear, doing our own research, and making informed decisions. It's about not letting fear or uncertainty cloud our judgment, and about standing up for truth, even when it's not the most popular opinion. And finally, it's about understanding the power of words. Because conspiracy theories aren't just harmless chatter. They have real-world impacts, they can change perceptions, and they can shape the course of events. So next time you hear a conspiracy theory, remember, not everything that goes viral is worth catching. So the US government created COVID-19 as a bioweapon, or did they? Let's take a moment to dissect this claim. Imagine a group of scientists huddled in a secret lab crafting a virus that's remarkably similar to naturally occurring viruses. It's like reinventing the wheel, but with a higher risk of sneezing. And then there's the question of why. To control the population? To test a new vaccine? Or maybe it's a plot to sell more hand sanitizer. The motives are as murky as a foggy morning in San Francisco. The theory also forgets one small detail. Viruses don't respect borders or political affiliations. Unleashing a global pandemic is like setting your own house on fire to get rid of a spider. It's a bit overkill, don't you think? And there you have it, folks. The US government, mastermind of pandemics and pothole neglect. Now that's what I call a conspiracy theory.